Good morning. In this video, we are going to discuss the Dollar Bill Validator. Cleaning the Dollar Bill Validator, verifying the current setting, and then setting the Dollar Bill Validator to accept different denominations. So from the outside in customer mode, normal mode, you'll notice a series of flashing lights, and they're all directing a customer's attention to the center. You have the outside lights, the middle lights, and then the center light. And they're all rhythmically pointing toward the center. Some people call these the landing lights. It's just an eye catcher, and it's a attention getter for the customer to know exactly where to place the dollar for insertion. Next, we'll talk about cleaning the Dollar Bill Validator. I recommend doing this with the power off. I've already removed the cassette, and I'm releasing the lower motor unit by pressing up on the release tab on the bottom, pressing up and then squeezing down with my thumb and pulling back, and that releases the lower motor unit. Turning it around with a damp cloth, I'm cleaning the 7 sensors. There's actually 7 sensors on here. These 2 sensors on the bottom, these are the ones that detect that a dollar bill has been inserted. At that point, it turns on the motor unit, turns on the belt, and drags the dollar at a specific rate across these 5 sensors here. And these 5 sensors look at the magnetic ink and the pattern of the denomination as it's pulled through the unit. So we want to clean these sensors. These 2 in the back are tape heads, just like on a cassette player. They're tape heads that read the magnetic ink, and then these 3 here read the pattern that's printed on the back of the denomination. And if it's a go or no go, it'll either accept the denomination and credit, or it will reverse the motor, and the bill will be returned to the customer. It's very important when you're cleaning a dollar bill validator, the lower motor unit, to make sure that the power is off, because these anti-cheat levers, and the purpose of them is to prevent a dollar or any denomination from being pulled backwards with a little string or monofilament that's been glued to it, prevents it from being pulled backwards. But they have a second function, which is these are also switches, and this is how we go into set mode, which we will be talking about in a moment. But for the purposes of cleaning the unit, you want to clean the belt, the wheels, just with a damp cloth. Make sure you dry off the unit afterwards. And then we're reinserting the motor unit back in to its holder. Snap it in place. Next, we're going to check the dollar bill validator to see what denomination it's currently set for. You do this again in customer or normal mode. You release the motor unit. You'll hear that sound of the motor being activated for a moment. Turn it toward you. And we're going to touch these anti-cheat levers 5 times rhythmically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll notice, from your perspective of pulling it out of the holder, you'll notice a single green light that comes on. From our perspective, it's over on the right-hand side. That light is that solid light is showing that this dollar bill validator is currently set to accept $1 bills only. Now, watch what happens as I push the anti-cheat lever switches. I'm going to push them, and you'll notice the light will advance. That one just came on. That indicates a 1 and a 5 dollar bill. 1, 5, and 10. 1, 5, 10, and 20. So at this point, I've set this to accept pretty much all current denominations of 1, 5, 10, and 20. If I push it one more time, it goes back to 1. But also, this light on the extreme left just came on. That's high security mode. That means the bill has to be in very good shape. No wrinkles, not aged, not worn. Unfortunately, in high security mode, we reject a large amount of the common $1 bills that we normally take in. And again, I can progress through this. 5 gets turned on, 10, and 20. So these are the ways you set the dollar bill validator. One more push brings it back to the single light, $1 only, which is what we normally want. I'm going to push and hold. It's going to flash, and when it flashes, you can then put the motor unit back in. So, for purposes of checking the Dollar Bill Validator on your route every day, all the machines going through your route at least once to verify what you're set for, pull out the motor unit, hit the anti-cheat levers 5 times, verify that you have the single light on, wait about 10 seconds. You can't immediately go back into the burn-in mode. Okay, after 10 seconds, we want to kind of burn that in, set that in. The light flashes, and we insert the motor unit. Now, in the future, we may set the Dollar Bill Validators to accept 1s and 5s. That's yet to be determined, and in some places, I believe they are testing that. But this is how you both clean, check, and set a Dollar Bill Validator. And especially important when you change out a Dollar Bill Validator, you want to know what it's set for. Because keep in mind, if it accepts 5, 10s, or 20s, the facility that counts the money may not have their paper counters set up to count larger denominations. So you want to make sure your count is accurate. So if you're accepting dollar bills only, make sure to check your Dollar Bill Validator. That's all I got for you today.